Coming up on Ann Arbor tonight, we have a great show for you folks. I am so excited. We're going to be premiering Cottage Inn's very first commercial, everybody. Yes, yes. And we have a great show for you. We have interview guest designer Alexa DeFord. Yes. We have musical guest Kai Fi. And the comic, the one and only Cam Big Fella Rowe. Yeah. Great show. Great show. You can drop the card now. Okay. Yes, my name is Zach, and well, there's not too many of us in show business. I mean, yes, there's ones like Galifianakis from Hangover and Zach Braff from the Scrubs Hospital show. But you see, I'm Zach Damon, and well, I'm usually hungover and in a hospital. A few days ago, I saw a larger woman, and she was ordering 12 donuts and a double-double at a local Tim Hortons. Well, this week, she's going to be getting a double-double bypass. You know, a friend of mine was moving out of his apartment last week, and it was weird. The landlord asked for him to leave the power on. Well, that's because the city needed it on for renovations. Yeah, you know, I would like to give a shout-out to my student loans. The only ones from college who are keeping in touch with me. The chance of becoming a victim of a crime in Ann Arbor is 1 in 35, and that's very low. Well, kind of like the chances on me getting paid for this show. Very low. There are some tense times these days in Ann Arbor. You know, I was actually downtown, and I was asking a girl what fragrance she was wearing. And you know what she said? Well, usually Mace. We have a great show coming up, so please stay tuned. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Ann Arbor Tonight. Woo! Thank you so much, folks. I am so excited. Why? Because we are premiering Cottage Inn's very first commercial tonight. Amazing. And I have the wonderful staff of Cottage Inn with me, so thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks for
having us. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. So, first of all, I wanted to touch to you, Emily, because you are the marketing director for Cottage Inn Pizza. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, you know, the history of Cottage Inn for those that don't know. I'll touch on it briefly. So Cottage Inn, you know, was a restaurant. It opened in 1948, still stands at its original location at 512 East William Street in Ann Arbor. And although it started, you know, as a small coffee shop, it started serving pizza in 1948 and has the distinction of being the first pizza in Ann Arbor. And then, of course, Cottage Inn Carry Out and Delivery started in 1975 when the main restaurant was no longer to really cater to the demand of the wonderful food that is Cottage Inn. So by 1978, it became, you know, sort of apparent that you needed to expand. And so as a part of that, you started the delivery business. And then, of course, as a result, Cottage Inn Carry Out and Delivery was established. But I'm curious for you, what first got you interested in sort of working with Cottage Inn?
Sure. So about 3.5 years ago, I started looking for a job in the marketing field. That's what I graduated with.
Sure.
And I happened upon the Cottage Inn post, and I was intrigued because I knew that the food industry was very competitive as far as marketing goes, and the pizza category is very competitive. So I knew that if I were to get a job there, it would be fun and exciting and challenging every day, and that's what I'm looking for. So that's kind of where I started. And Cottage Inn is also very nostalgic for me. When I was younger, we would have birthday parties and stuff like that, and we would always order Cottage Inn, so it was kind of a special treat for us.
Nice, that's awesome. So talk about sort of the history. I mean, this is huge. I mean, tonight we're going to be showing the very first commercial for Cottage Inn Pizza. I mean, in your mind, why is this something that was needed?
Yeah, so the digital marketing is expanding everywhere. Print was very relevant a while ago, and now, as a lot of people know, it's moving to digital. So I think that a commercial was needed for us. It was time to expand and meet those needs.
Wonderful. And I'd like to talk to the other wonderful gentleman sitting next to you. We have Rob Marshke of Cade and Associates Advertising, and of course Chuck Colby of Cade as well. Yeah. And so you guys produced the commercial. Can you sort of talk a little bit about that process, how the idea came to you?
Sure, sure. Well, first of all, I live in Dexter, but I bought an advertising agency that's based out of Florida, but we expanded to Michigan. And I kept thinking about Michigan-based companies that we, would like to produce commercials for, and Cottage Inn kept going through my mind. And when I looked at it, I realized that they've been in business 70 years, have, what, 55 stores, something like that? And they haven't ever produced a commercial. And George, one of the owners, we know, Chuck and I both know. And so I came up with a concept, from traveling, and you'll see in the commercial, because he's making a play about everybody's living on social media, and sometimes it's better, the old-fashioned way of not doing it social media. And I just couldn't get it out of my head, so I sat down. I had my team spend a couple of weeks. We came up with 3 different commercial ideas, and we storyboarded them, and they had no idea we were even coming. We called them up, we went over, we presented it to the initial team, and I think they were excited about it, but they hadn't been producing commercials, so it was a little bit harder sell for George.
Right.
And then we met with George for, 3 hours, and finally George is like, look, I don't want to be the next, big pizza chain, Domino's or whatever. I just want to be a local, local vibe thing. So I said, okay, we can take this concept, dial it down, and that's what we did. And we ended up shooting. First of all, we casted locally. We put it online, and we asked people to send their videos in, and so we had fun getting all the videos. Had lots of views and stuff already online before it began, and then we ended up shooting it in downtown Saline, which is really exciting, and made it a whole local vibe thing. So it was fun.
Beautiful local city, just connected to Ann Arbor, not too far at all.
Yeah.
And interesting fact, folks, about some of the locations of this commercial. They actually filmed a portion of it in my apartment. Can you guys believe that? Yeah. So
that was Chuck, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's
Casa Z.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Casa Zach. Yeah. And no, it was great. Everybody was very, very kind, very, very nice, and all the other building mates, they just loved sort of standing around, watching the equipment and what was going on. And yeah, you guys did a really, really great job.
Yeah, we appreciate that. How did you convince them to let us do that?
Well, I had dropped Zach off not too long ago and went up to check out his new apartment. And when I was up there, I thought, this is a great spot. And then we started looking for a place to have to do this shoot that was an apartment style that would be, similar to a place where a young guy like our actor would live, and this seemed like exactly the place. So it was perfect.
Thank you. And originally, Chuck, when you did approach me with that, I thought you were joking. So I was very grateful.
Isn't that funny? Yeah.
Seriously? I was very, very grateful that it was actually a real offer.
The thing that I thought was interesting is I said, so Zach, don't clean up for the shoot, please. It's not appropriate.
I left all the beer cans everywhere.
In fact, let's talk about what he has on his wall.
Oh my gosh.
Who is it? Tell him.
Who's on the wall? Who's on your wall in your apartment?
In your kitchen.
Oh, my girlfriend. Yeah, no, I have. So it's a mural, folks, and it's just something in my kitchen to keep me motivated to stay fit, okay, and stay active. And so it's a wonderful advertisement for the Beverly Hills workout. Yeah. And the model is very tasteful. And does a wonderful job in her red jumpsuit. So thank you very much for that, folks. But we do have a clip of the commercial, don't we, guys?
Yeah, and I also should say, if you pay attention to the end, the jingle. Yeah. We put together a jingle, which is kind of nice. Yeah. And our very own Chuck.
Yeah. Well, Rob started coming up with this idea of who's got the best pizza as the slogan.
Sure.
And I'm a musician. I've been on this show before, Zach.
Yeah,
thank you for having
pilot episode.
Having my group on. And I worked with Donnie Brown, who's the producer for 3 Men and a Tenor, and a great recording artist from the band The Verve Pipe. And I said, hey, I've got this idea of who's got the best pizza, and I wanted to be kind of like a Def Leppard. Kind of a shouty type of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And Donnie's like, yeah, man, I know how to do that. and so we recorded it, and it was just, I think perfect for what it is.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Awesome. Well, yeah, let's take a look.
Sure, we live in an incredibly fast-paced world these days.
Cottage Inn.
Getting information from here to there can be as fast as just pushing a button.
Cottage Inn.
People are so busy with the day-to-day that they don't really stop to pay attention.
Cottage Inn.
Sure, you've got your social media. Blogs and online dating are great ways to communicate, but sometimes it's just better the old-fashioned way. You just ask.
Cottage Inn Pizza, baby! Woo!
Need I say more?
Who's got the best pizza? Cottage Inn!
Wow, what a great commercial, guys. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ann Arbor Tonight. Welcome back to Ann Arbor Tonight, everybody. Good job. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. My goodness, what a funny commercial. You know, that gamer guy was hilarious. So Chuck, Colby, can you talk about that? How'd you guys do the casting?
Yeah, man, of course. So, you know, the lucky thing for us is that I worked for 3 years at the Encore Theater in Dexter.
Sure.
And so I got to know a lot of actors. In fact, we have a couple of them here tonight. We've got Isaac Dorr and Alexis Benson, both people who have appeared on the stage at the Encore Theater.
Awesome.
Evan Colby, the kid who walks down the street. You know, he's been on the Encore stage several times, and I had easy access to him since he's my kid.
That's right.
And then
proud.
Michael Cicerelli is a really special kid because he was in a couple of shows at the Encore, and he's what's known as a method actor, and he never really breaks character, even on the set.
He was the gamer.
Yeah, he was the gamer guy, so he really had that one line, and he didn't ever say anything but that.
Cottage Inn Pizza, baby! Woo!
That's the line right there.
My
That's
goodness.
the line. So you know, he just keeps.
That's amazing. And of course, wow. I mean, so we have pizza, right?
Yeah,
I love that.
It's your
Yeah.
favorite. It's
What
the
kind-
secret menu.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
menu.
Look
Just
at
for
this.
you.
It is. It's wonderful. And then of course, we have these wonderful shirts too here, right?
And we actually have one for everybody in the audience. So
Oh my
thank
gosh.
you guys for
Yes. A wonderful.
You're getting a shirt, and you're getting a shirt.
That's right. Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
You made it
Wow.
big time.
Oh,
That's
man.
awesome.
I cannot wait to try this, folks.
Wait. Let's show your shirt. Let's show. So tell them about that shirt.
So this shirt, what I'm gonna do is, so it says, "Who's got the best pizza?" Right? And then on the back, check it out.
Boom.
Boom. Film crew, everybody. So yeah, very, very nice gift. Thank you guys so much. It was a
Dude, that
pleasure.
pizza smells really good.
Yeah, it
Are
does.
you gonna
You know
actually open that
yeah,
up?
I
or-
am. You know what? I'm gonna take a bite.
Yeah,
Do
do
it.
it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Take
That's why
a
we
bite.
brought it, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's why I'm gonna take a bite of it. Look at this, guys. This looks amazing.
It doesn't seem fair to
Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
just
yeah.
eat that in front of everybody here.
We brought pizza
Yeah,
for
everyone
the
gets a
audience.
pizza.
My goodness.
A slice for you and a slice for you.
That's right. My goodness. Well, thank you. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll finish our interview with Cottage Inn when we come back.
Sure, we live in an incredibly fast-paced world these days.
Cottage Inn.
And getting information from here to there can be as fast as just pushing a button.
Cottage Inn.
People are so busy with the day-to-day that they don't really stop to pay attention.
Cottage Inn.
Sure, you've got your social media. Blogs and online dating are great ways to communicate, but sometimes it's just better the old-fashioned way. You just ask.
Cottage Inn Pizza, baby! Woo!
Need I say more?
Who's got the best pizza?
my goodness. Look at that. Yeah, man. They were throwing, did you guys get that? They were throwing t-shirts into the audience. I hope you guys can wear them. We got some great Cottage Inn swag. But we're not done. I need to talk more about what Cottage Inn is doing. So the great thing is Cottage Inn Carryout and Delivery. We know you guys care about the community. And so you've really established a great relationship with the Ann Arbor community, participating in community service events such as feeding students on campus and being a major vendor at Michigan athletic events, as well as other big events across the state. So you also have a vegan option on your menu. So in a few words, why is Cottage Inn Pizza an important fabric within the Ann Arbor community, and why are vegan options important?
Sure. So we are very involved in the community. We actually take pride in it. A lot of our corporate stores, as well as several of our franchise locations, we work with local communities to help whenever we can. We hold Dine to Donate events to raise money for schools and hospitals. We participate in a lot of fundraisers and donations. So every time we have a big event, we really just want to find a way to tie into the community that we call home. Nice. And as for our vegan menu, that launched earlier this month, and we've had great reception so far. The Ann Arbor community is a very big vegan community, so we knew that it was wanted. And we did a lot of research, months of research, looking for specific vegan cheeses, plant-based proteins, and we found a couple that work really well with our dough and our sauce. So, like I said, we launched that earlier this month, and it's been going really great. So
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, was that a difficult process originally?
It took a while. There's a few different options out there, and I mean, we wanted it to pair perfectly with what we already had.
Yep.
So there was probably a couple months worth of testing, and we got to test some of it. So
yeah.
it was kind of fun.
Well, and it's interesting you mentioned a different type of dough, because I noticed that about Cottage Inn. I mean, they have a very distinct dough and a distinct taste. And you know, is that always just been something that Cottage Inn has prided itself on? Yeah,
we really pride ourselves on our fresh ingredients. We make our fresh dough daily. Wow. So yeah, it's very important to us.
That's awesome. No, I mean, I think you guys do a wonderful, wonderful job. And of course, Cottage Inn is considered, you know, the pizza of Ann Arbor. And again, you know, you partnering with Cade and Associates and doing this wonderful commercial, we couldn't be more excited. And I hope that, you know, everyone has an opportunity to try Cottage Inn that has not, and gets a chance to enjoy your vegan options as well.
Yep, it's available in Ann Arbor right now, as well as our Saline location and our Ypsilanti location on Washtenaw. And we're hoping that if testing goes well, we'll expand it. So
awesome. Yeah. And really quick, I wanted to know from each of you, because this is important. But pizza warm or cold?
Oh.
Well, my personal favorite is next day in the toaster oven.
Okay.
It's the best for me.
Okay. So. Next day in the toaster.
Oh, yeah.
How about you, Rob?
I guess I do like warm, but I have to say I do like waking up in the morning and having a cold piece of pizza. It is good, actually. I know. I don't know why that is, but actually, you're right.
There's just something about
it. I don't know why.
How about you, Chuck?
Barbecue chicken pizza right out of the oven at the stadium location.
Wow.
At the you even got the location there.
With ranch.
Specific. With ranch.
With
ranch.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
And Tabasco.
Well, as you guys know, I'm a spinach supreme man, and you know what? Ever since you guys started selling those larger cups of marinara, I was a big fan of that as well. And I can do it hot or cold, day or night. Love Cottage Inn. Great stuff. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And Zach, we're trying to do another commercial, hopefully, with Cottage Inn, and we're going to expand maybe on Michael's character, so that's what I'm hoping to do.
Keep your apartment ready.
Yes.
Oh, I will.
We might need another apartment.
Anyway, I'll have better snacks next time.
Maybe we'll get that picture into the shot
awesome.
in your kitchen. So.
There we go. There we go. I love it, guys. Well, thank you so much, Cottage Inn, Cade and Associates.
Cool.
Thank you so much. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Cool.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ann Arbor Tonight. and welcome back to Ann Arbor Tonight. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Folks, I am so excited to introduce our feature interview guest for the evening. Please give a warm Ann Arbor Tonight welcome for designer Alexa DeFord, everybody. Yeah. Alexa, my goodness, so grateful to have you on the show tonight. Thanks for coming.
Yes, thank you for inviting me. This is great.
No problem. So do you mind if we jump right in?
Yeah.
Awesome. So first of all, you're an Ann Arbor native, so yay. And decided in 5th grade that you wanted to be a fashion designer. And you know, I heard a rumor about you, but I wasn't sure if this was true. But is it true that you loved fashion coloring books and you would actually cut up and design clothing for your American Girl dolls?
Yes, I remember being at my cousin's house and I would like cut up fabric and I didn't have anything to sew it with, so I would use a stapler and tape.
Oh my goodness.
And then I'd have like little outfits for my American Girl dolls and stuff.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow, and what was it that really like got you interested and captivated you about the fashion industry when you were young?
I think the idea of like glamour and just like the spotlight and all of that in relation to fashion, because I was always very artsy and creative from a young age, so I think that just kind of like pushed me toward it. I never knew like what an artist was when I was little.
Sure.
I don't think anybody really does.
Right.
So I was kind of like, oh, this is something that seems super, super fun.
Right.
And I wanted something fun.
Yeah, and you know, it felt comfortable, you know, natural, right? Yeah, I mean, I think that's amazing that you were able to find your calling like so young. And you know, you've done a lot. Why, in your mind, is design and fashion like an important fabric in the Ann Arbor community and in the UM community?
I think it's so interesting being in New York for a few summers now and then coming back to Ann Arbor. The fashion is so different, and even New York is considered behind in fashion.
Wow.
And then you come back to Ann Arbor and it's like 20 years behind that.
Wow.
But people are still interested in that, and it's not a priority here, and in a lot of states it's not. It's typically just New York and Hollywood type LA.
Sure.
So I think it's important that it's still around and people recognize it, because it is on social media and all over the TVs and stuff.
Sure.
So.
Well, and it's also, I think it's important too professionally, right? I mean, as much as people want to say, you know, hey, we don't necessarily, if you're coming in for a job interview, oh, that's not what we look for. We look for qualification. But honestly, like having a good outfit, dressing professionally, people look for that in the workplace, right?
Yeah.
And so as much as people want to say, oh, we don't worry about it, if you work, whether it's in the fashion industry or for a corporate organization, they worry about that.
Yeah, I think everybody worries about it, even if they don't let themselves admit that they worry about it. But you dress yourself every morning, so everyone's worried about something to do with fashion.
Yeah, for sure. So here's the other thing. Speaking of, you said being in New York, you've worked for major fashion labels such as DKNY and also Steve Madden. But I'm interested, can you talk about like kind of how that came about? And you know, working for two of the biggest like fashion names, I mean, can you talk about too like the work culture, and I mean, were they different or were they similar?
So DKNY and Steve Madden were very different. I was only at DKNY. I just did one shoe just for like a few days I was there.
Sure.
And that was actually in April. And then so I came back home, and then I flew back to New York, and I moved in full time for like 4 months. And so I was at Steve Madden, I think 8 months total.
Sure.
It was really fun. They're like so fun. It's a team of 4 of us.
Nice.
So
wow, really
I was
small.
their intern last year, and now I'm like doing the same role as them.
Sure. Wow.
They're just so fun. It's like working with all of my friends, but even though they're like 30, it's just so fun. Like some days we'd just be like, we're just not gonna work, and we'd go to Coney Island to like. And on Wednesdays we go shopping.
Wow, are you serious?
So yeah, on Wednesdays we trend and stuff, but it's a lot of hard work. Like, it's constant. You're running around everywhere. I work in the sample factory.
Okay.
So I would draw up a shoe, and we all draw up shoes, and then it goes through the production line, a mini production line, and I get to see my shoe made like that day, that week.
Gosh.
Then it sits on the floor, and people from around the building will come and like retail or wholesale. I'm in the wholesale department, but then they'll buy it and it'll go to the store. And then there's shoe show, which happens a few times a year. And it's when all of the buyers come. So it's crazy. You work you work 12 hours and then you work on a Saturday. And
oh my gosh.
But it's really fun. I love it. It's like a party.
Yeah, wow. And why shoes for you? I mean, there's other garments, right, in the fashion industry. But why shoes?
I think it kind of just like fell in my lap, the shoe thing.
Yeah.
Rather than I didn't seek out shoes to begin with.
Okay.
But I don't know. It kind of, that's just how it came to be.
Yeah,
and I was drawing and like I did like clay stuff in middle school, and I did a shoe. I made a shoe.
Okay.
And then I don't know. Like, I've just been doing shoe things, and it's just weird how it all turned out.
No, I think it's interesting. Sort of subconsciously, kind of manifested itself, right, from the clay model to now.
Yeah.
What does it feel like to have a design that you've put on paper, like to have it brought to life? You know, like.
It's super cool because there's a lot of technical things that go into the actual shoe once it's done. The fit sometimes is wrong. So at Steve Madden, there's a fit model that just is solely there to put shoes on her.
Oh, wow.
So sometimes the whole look of the shoe will change because it doesn't fit right. Like if the ball of your foot, something, I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff.
There's a lot of,
You have to tweak it and it'll change the look of the shoe. But there's a lot of troubleshooting that goes on with that.
Wow. So I also wanted to know too, I mean, do you have a favorite like fashion quote from maybe somebody you've worked with, people that you, or just someone that you admire?
I don't really have like a favorite quote, but I guess fashion is never going to die. Like fashion is not dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why, I just really like that quote. It's kind of straightforward. And I think a lot of people talk about you can always dress up like a really dressed down outfit with your shoes. So that's another one that I like, something like that.
Yeah, I love it. No, for sure. I agree with you. And of course, being a longtime Ann Arbor native, for someone who has never like been to Ann Arbor before, like why should they come visit?
Ooh, okay, so it's super fun. Game day is like the best thing ever.
Yes.
Everyone needs to come for a game day. All the Steve Madden people are so excited they're gonna come for a game day.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I got them the Michigan shirt that says like Michigan mom and dad and all that. They all have them.
Nice.
So, but yeah, game day is one of the top reasons to come.
That's right.
Yes.
I mean, biggest stadium in the country. Come on.
I know. Everyone has to go.
That's right. And so also too, I mean, you've done so much in your young career, and of course, you're going to do so much more. But for all the young girls out there, right, that are watching this, that love fashion, right, that scour through the fashion magazines, and they go, man, I wish I could do that. I wish I could design. I wish I could just be a part of that. What advice do you have for them?
I would say just start drawing and putting things together and figuring out what works for you. But failure is a big key to where you want to go. I failed so many times and it was really rough for a very, very long time. And after you realize what doesn't work, you finally will realize what does work.
Right.
So.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that's great advice. And I wanted to know too, I mean, down the line, will there be an Alexa DeFord line one day?
I hope there is. I really want to. I want to collab with somebody. Maybe like a company by Alexa DeFord or like, I don't know. I don't know, something. But yes, I think I do want to do something with my name on it.
Well, we're definitely behind you, Alexa, and you know, think that you have limitless heights, and I definitely wish you continued success. Thank you so much for being on Ann Arbor tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, we're going to take a quick break, folks. We'll be right back. welcome back to Ann Arbor tonight. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Folks, I am so excited to introduce our comic guest for the evening. He performs all over the United States. You have probably seen him on Storage Hunters. Please give a warm Ann Arbor Tonight welcome for the one and only Cam Big Fella Rowe.
Hey! How you guys doing? All right. You guys are staring at me like I'm working security today. I'm in a good mood today. You guys really, really good mood. Get up for me. I just had a son last year. I'm really excited about that, right? Thank you. Thank you. I'm celebrating today because I just found out he's really mine. DNA took a little bit longer than I thought, right? Here's the thing about being a parent, though. Like, I'm broke right now. So to save money, I just send my son to my cousin's daycare. When I tell y'all it's the most ghetto daycare you've ever seen in your life, like, how do you own a daycare and you don't have custody of your own kids? I got to do better for my baby, man. My son loves this cartoon called Caillou. Oh, yeah. That's how I can tell the parents and all the moans and groans, man. I hate that cartoon, but my son loves it, so I got to watch it. For those of you guys that don't know, Caillou was like this 4-year-old, big-head kid that feels like he can talk back to his parents whenever he wants. But the kicker is, every time Caillou talks back to his parents, this narrator comes in and interrupts the show, right? And you think that she's going to defend the parents' point of view, but she defends Caillou's? Like, it's the craziest thing in the world. Like, Caillou's mom would be like, Caillou, time to clean up your room. Caillou would be like, no, mommy, I'm not cleaning up my room. Then the narrator comes in like, Caillou didn't feel like cleaning his room. He wanted to play with his toys. I can only imagine if my mama was the narrator for that cartoon. It'd be a totally different cartoon, right? Like Caillou's mama would be like, Caillou, time to clean up your room. Caillou would be like, no, mommy, I'm not cleaning up my room. Then my mama come in like, see, here's the part where Caillou needs his ass whooped. You got mama messed up, Caillou. But then I started thinking, like, how cool would that be to have your own personal narrator in your everyday life that would excuse you from your responsibilities, right? Wouldn't that be great? Like my baby mama called me up like, Cam Rowe, it's the first of the month. You owe me $300 for child support this month. Then my narrator comes in like, Cam Rowe didn't feel like paying child support. He wanted to go to the strip club with his friends. I would love that, man. So I mentioned earlier I was, well, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm 6'9", right? Yeah. And I'm a 6'9" guy who failed at sports. Right? Let me say that again. I'm a 6'9" black guy who failed at sports. Right? And I'm really like the black sheep of my family because I come from a sports family. Like my cousin, Willie Crawford, 6'4", won a World Series for the LA Dodgers back in the day. Yeah. Not only that, my father, Curtis Rowe, 6'7". He's a March Madness legend. He won 3 national championships for UCLA under Coach John Wooden. Yeah, then in 1971, he got drafted by the Detroit Pistons, and he became an NBA All-Star. I'm Cam Rowe. I'm 6'9". My last job was at Coney Island, you guys. They were like, your boy play ball? I'm like, no, but he can make the hell out of some chili cheese fries, though. So this is a true story. Like, you know, my family, like, they love to mess with me because of this, right? Like, this is a true story. And I was still actively pursuing sports. My family prank called me on NFL draft night. I know, no, don't say, oh, they're some jerks, man. I can't make this up. I got a call. They're like, this is the Detroit Lions. We want to draft you. I said, for real? She said, hell no, this your mama. Come out here and take out this trash. Nobody drafting you. And bring me some chili cheese fries while you're at it. That's my mom, man. Like she loves me, but she can't stand me, right? I was like her ticket out. Like I was just over a house the other day. She's just staring at me. I said, what's wrong, mama? She said, so I guess I just had sex with your daddy for nothing, huh? That's what I done. I just looked at it, I was like, okay, first of all, today is my birthday. Now you could have told me that stuff tomorrow, mama. But you know what I mean? But that's how it is, man. And, you know, I'll take that from my mom because that's my mom, right? You know what I mean? Like, my mom is a strong woman. Like, my mom is so strong. I know that all women are stronger than men, mentally and physically. Seriously, you guys are, man. Yeah, give it up for that. Because you got to think about it. Like, my mom had me the old-fashioned way with no drugs or nothing. Would you have my big ass with no drugs? I came out this size. My mom had me with no drugs. I had bowel movements so big, I wish I had an epidural. So I take that from my mom, right? But like I said, we love to have fun in my family. You know what I mean? Like, we love to have fun. We love to make fun of each other. It's all in love, though. We love to roast each other, right? Like, you guys ever seen those Comedy Central roasts on TV? Or those old school Dean Martin roasts back in the day? That's what we do in my family all day long, but like nobody's off limits, like the kids or nobody. Like once you learn how to talk, you can get roasted in my house. For real. Like my daughter, she's 6 years old. I was getting ready for the show tonight. She was like, Daddy, you getting ready for the show tonight with your dinner shirt on? I said, dinner shirt? She said, yeah, you spilled dinner on your shirt. And I started to let it go. But then I just looked at it and I was like, at least I got all my damn teeth in my mouth. You look like a snagger-toothed tiger, girl. What's wrong with you? I know crackheads that got more teeth than you. And besides, you can't even spell dinner. She looked at me and she said, D-I-N-E-R. It used to be 2 N's, but you ate one of them. Now go downstairs and make me some chili cheese fries. I said, dang, I gotta leave her alone, man. But like I said, man, like, you know, we love to have fun in my family. Everybody loves to have fun. My father, like I said, Curtis Rowe, played in the NBA. And, you know, my father, I think we get along. He's a lot like me. You know, he's a big prankster, too. I'll give you guys an example. Like, one of his favorite things to do in his heyday was driving around in a fancy car and then park next to a white person in a messed up car. And as soon as they made eye contact with him, he'd lock his door. I swear it's one of his favorite things to do, man. And my dad he's from L.A., you know what I mean? I don't know if you know people from L.A., but they have a tendency to name drop, right? A lot of people, like my cousin lives in L.A., I talk to her. It can never be just a normal day. I said, how was your day? She'll be like, oh, I just had lunch with Jamie Foxx's manager. We were over at Eddie Murphy's house. Selma Hayek came through. It was fantastic. I realized my dad being from L.A., he does the same thing, but he only name drops people back from the 70s when he was famous. Like I talked to him the other day, I said, hey, man, what are you doing? He said, man, just got off the phone with my homegirl, Dionne Warwick. I'm like, come on, dude, really? Whitney's psychic auntie, this is what you're doing, man? He said, man, she could have been your mama back in the day. We was over at Ike Turner's house. OJ came through. I'm like, you know what, Dad? He said, OJ was a funny dude. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure he killed the room, Daddy. Nothing about me, too, trying to get in better shape, you know what I mean, guys? Give it up for me. I lost 25 pounds last month, right? Yes. Okay, I gained it back this month, though. Last month was my month, right? And I had to do something about working out because I was like a tall, skinny kid growing up. Like just a few years ago, I used to weigh 225. Now I weigh too damn much. So I had to start working out. And people treat you differently when you gain weight. Like when I was thin, everybody used to say I looked like Kanye West. I mean, this was back when people used to like Kanye West. But now that I say I look like that big old black dude from that movie Blind Side. All right, I got white people trying to adopt me now. Everybody in this audience is a part of my family. And because I've only been this big for a few years, I'm still a skinny person in my head, right? But I'm constantly reminded that I'm not. Like I was at the gym yesterday, this big 600-pound dude comes up to me, he's like, hey, man, people like me and you need to stick together. People like who, sir? You know what I mean? Like, don't put me in the fat category just yet. I just got here. You a lifetime member, sir. Can't eat the same no more, man. When I was thin, I used to go to like my mom's house, eat like 10 plates of food. She'd be bragging because she thought I was going to the NFL. She'd be like, y'all, look at my baby over there eating 10 plates of food. That's her going, boy, y'all. Now she can see me eating a small piece of cracker. She's like, look at this hungry, hungry hippo over here. Eating up all the crackers. I said, can you at least lower your voice, Mama? Because we're in church right now. This cracker is for communion, Mama. This cracker represents the body of Jesus Christ, Mama. She said, you look like you ate the whole body. You look like you ate Jesus on 12 of his disciples. I said, it's still my birthday, Mama, dang. Another thing to be in my size, right, is I'll always have a job, at least working as a security guard, right? You know what I mean? Only problem is, and you know, you can probably tell I'm a big teddy bear. I don't like to fight, right? Okay, I'll be honest, I can't fight, right? But I did get on that TV show, Storage Hunters, as a security guard. And that was great, because on that show, I was breaking up fake fights. So you put me on a show when I'm breaking up fake fights, I mean, you know, I'll kick your ass then. That's different. Only thing is, like, they call me the Green Mile on the show, right? You know, my mom, you know, she didn't like that. She's like, don't let them call you Green Mile. That's so stupid. Don't let them call you that. So then I showed her my paycheck. I said, okay, this is what they're paying me to call me the Green Mile, Mama. She said, shoot, they can call you whatever they want for this. And does everybody have a good time so far? Everybody have a good time tonight? You know, I'll end it on this. You know, most comedians, they like to live on a funny joke. I just like to live on an inspirational quote or story. I just want to say, like, whatever you guys want to do in life, you're never too young, you're never too old, never give up, and believe in yourself. Seriously, guys. Never, yeah, give it up for that. Never give up and believe in yourself. Yeah. And I'll tell you why, too. I almost thought about giving up comedy about a year ago, but I got a call last week to change my life. This person called me and said, Cam Rowe, I work for one of the biggest agencies in Hollywood, and we're going to start putting you on more TV shows, we're going to start putting you in movies, and we're going to make you a big star. And I was like, wow, you guys going to make me a star for real? She said, hell no, this your mama. Hey, guys, that's my time. I'm Cam Rowe. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Ann Arbor Tonight. Cam Rowe, everybody. Yeah, great stuff, man. Great stuff. Hilarious, man.
Thank you, man.
Man, dinner, D-I-N-E-R, man.
That's right.
Man.
Thank you, man.
Hilarious
Thanks
stuff,
for having
man.
me, Zach. This is amazing, man. I love this. I love
Cam, thank you so much, man. I mean, we love having you on Ann Arbor Tonight. I mean, how you feeling tonight, man?
I'm feeling great, man.
Good,
I'm feeling
dude.
great, man. I'm on Ann Arbor Tonight. I
There
feel
we
great.
go. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, man. So I wanted to know from you, Cam, I mean, so how does a guy, you know, again, with a sports background, get into stand-up? Like, why stand-up for you?
Well, you know what? Most athletes are funny. I did play basketball a little bit, and football in high school, and a little bit in college.
Okay.
At Seattle University.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody? All right.
Yeah.
I know that's not around here. You guys don't care. I get it. But no, man. I just think, you know, with most of my family members being athletes, I wanted to do something different.
Sure.
And you know, I was with my dad. We were watching Richard Pryor. I was like 5 years old. I shouldn't have been watching Richard Pryor at 5 years old. But my dad, like, he was just cracking up laughing. I just saw like how much he loved Richard Pryor, and I said, man, something just struck in me. At like 5, I said, I want to do this one day.
Wow.
You know.
That's cool.
So now I'm here. I'm doing it. So I'm
yeah,
happy.
man. How long have you done comedy?
Only about 6 years now.
Okay, wow.
So I'm still. That's still like the baby stages, so they say. But
Sure.
I don't look like a baby. I don't feel like one. So.
No, man. I mean, hey, you know, you've done a lot, man. I mean, you know, did some stuff out in L.A. and then now you're back, you know, in Michigan, and I mean, it's awesome. And you know, one of the other things too that I thought cool was about you. I mean, like, you understand how great of a town Ann Arbor is for comedy,
Oh,
right?
my
And you
gosh.
performed at the Showcase, right?
Yeah, I performed at the Showcase. Ann Arbor's great. Ann Arbor's a great town for sports, for comedy, just about everything. So,
yeah.
you know, half of my family went to U of M.
Okay.
So, you know, I can only say good things about U of M because of that.
Nice.
And,
Nice.
no, it's great. I love Ann Arbor.
Yeah, man, and definitely. And you know, so you talked about Richard Pryor. Are there any other comedians out there that have been like pretty influential?
Oh, there's a
for you?
lot, man. There's George Carlin.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm into people like George Carlin.
Yep.
I used to watch.
The Wacky Weatherman was my favorite.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's awesome, man. Bill Cosby before we found out he was crazy.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy's
that
probably my
Jello
favorite.
messed him up. Man.
Eddie Murphy's probably my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Because he can do everything, impressions, stand up, and he's just a great actor.
Yep.
So he's amazing.
That's awesome, man. So, what's next for you? Like, what's your big goal in comedy? What do you hope to do?
You know, my big goal is just because now I just started, you know, going around the country and doing comedy. So I've been featuring a lot. So my goal is to get into headlining. I just got my first headlining gig in Iowa next week. So I'm excited about that.
Heck yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Just continue to, you know, continue to headline. And I would love to be on a sitcom and movies and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, the dream is alive.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
Man, totally. And for all the people out there that want to keep up with Cam Rowe and, you know, where you're performing, how can they get a hold of you? How can they find you?
You guys can find me on Facebook at Cam Big Fella Rowe, Twitter, Cam Big Fella Rowe, and Insta, Cam Big Fella Rowe.
All right.
I keep it simple, man.
Hey, I love it, brother. Cam Big Fella Rowe. Well, thank you so much, Cam, for being on Ann Arbor tonight.
Thank you, Zach.
You were awesome.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, folks. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Kai 5, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ann Arbor Tonight. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Ann Arbor Tonight. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Folks, I am so excited to introduce our musical guest for the evening. He's Ann Arbor, born and raised, and he's a vocal looper, and he's got an EP coming out later this year. Please give a warm Ann Arbor Tonight welcome for Kai 5, ladies and gentlemen.
much is wrong, much has changed. What's the year? What's my name? What's my name? Oh, settle down. It's not fear, but I feel uneasy here. You were light, you were clear. I feel lost again. Are you still near? You still near? Ghost. Are you still near? I was no queen, you were no king, but we could have been anything. Everyone knew that I'd be yours till flowers rain on one of us, on one of us, on one of us, on one of us, on one of us. On one of us, on one of us, on one of us, on one of I don't cry for too long. Something says of be strong. I hear your ghost in my ear. Please be close, please be near, please be near. Please be near, 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 please be near. I hear a ghost in my ear, please be close, so a beat near. I hear a ghost in my ear, please be close, so a beat near. I hear a ghost in my ear, please be close, so a beat near. I hear a ghost in my ear, please be close, so a beat near. I hear a ghost in my ear, please be close, so a beat near. I hear a ghost in my ear, please be close, so a beat near. I hear a ghost in my ear, please be close, so a beat near. I hear a ghost in my ear, please be close, so a beat near. So be near. I hear a ghost in my ear. Please be close. So I hear a ghost in my ear. Please be close. So be near. I hear a ghost in my ear. Please Let's be close, so be near.
Thank you. That was a song called Ghost. This is a song called Honey. Thanks a lot.
Ease my eyes. lets me
Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ann Arbor Tonight. All right, welcome back to Ann Arbor Tonight. High five, everybody! What a show! Oh my goodness! Wow.
Thank you.
What a job, man. That was beautiful, beautiful stuff. I mean, wow. Vocal looping, incredible.
Thank
so, you know, in your own words, I mean, why do you think Ann Arbor is a great place for music?
So Ann Arbor, it's lively. It's the students, but it's way more than that. It's the people who have families here, the people who work in the city. It's a very smart place, Ann Arbor, and smart people demand culture. So we have music, and we have the arts, and we have activities, lots of things to do. So it's a great place to be a musician.
Awesome, man. Yeah, and what first got you interested in music, Kai?
So when I was young, my older siblings were taking violin lessons. My sister just told me this story a couple months ago. I did not know this. Apparently, when we were on our way to a violin lesson for my brother and sister, I waited till it was in my car. My mom was driving us, so now she couldn't go anywhere. So something along the lines of, "Mother, when am I going to get violin lessons? I see my older siblings have violin lessons."
Right.
And I've been exposed to music through violin and eventually doing more singing and guitar, and I just fell in love with it.
Yeah.
I fell in love specifically with the human voice and all the things that it can do.
Right.
And that's why I'm a vocal looper now.
Oh man, that's awesome. And yeah, I want to talk about that too. You have a style again called looping. So with that, I mean, how did you come about that, and what were some of your biggest musical influences?
Yeah. So aside from joining a cappella groups myself, starting in high school, that got me used to singing with other people, listening to people, just have an amazing time learning to build chords and beatbox, really bring music to life.
Sure.
One of my main music heroes is a guy named Reggie Watts.
Okay.
He is incredible. He's a looper. He's known for having crazy hair, and he's also a comedian, so he's completely free with his ideas.
Wow.
And he's energetic. He's just a joy to watch make music because he actually comes alive, and he brings things from nothing to this amazing soundscape and orchestra. He's incredible.
Well, and that's what you're doing too. I mean, you know, I hear you. You start out with just, you know, a great sound, and then build it, and it's amazing, man. Can you also share, because you do a lot of other shows around the city, can you share a funny memory you have while performing either on stage or backstage?
Yeah. So I was playing at this place called The Grotto. It is downtown Ashley and Liberty.
Yep.
And Ashley, as we know, is a one-way street. So I was just ending a song, just in between songs.
Sure.
And I notice, and people around me start to notice, there's a car going the wrong way down a one-way street.
Oh my God.
Classic Ann Arbor, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So I start making a loop, you're going the wrong way down the one way, you're going the wrong way down the one way, and everyone around me latches on. We're all people are kind of pointing at them, hey, let me get your attention over here. And what I love about looping is that I can just bring this song to life out of absolutely nothing, just literally set it up and respond to the world around me. That's really what that moment was. So
that's
yeah.
awesome. And so, I mean, but that person obviously got out of the way.
Eventually, yeah. They could be still going. I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know.
down the wrong road.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, no.
Actually, it's a long street.
Yeah, well, right. And so another thing I wanted to know too. I mean, do you write and produce? So obviously you like produce your own songs.
Yeah.
But do you write your own songs as well? And
I do.
mean, if you do, you know, what's the most challenging part about the writing process for you?
I would say the most challenging part is sitting down and finishing any particular song because I get inspired by random feelings. Maybe I'm like responding to something in my life, and I'll be like driving often, and I'll be like, okay, all right, I gotta record this loop. So like sing it into my phone and such, and like get like all these ideas out, and they're like, yeah. And then when I get home, like to the loop station, I might try it once, and then it's so hard to come back to. Because then it's the next thing, and I'm like, ooh, shiny.
Yeah.
Over here. So
right.
the hard part for me is sitting back and coming back to what I feel like are good ideas, because I have a lot of ideas, and it's about like, okay, find the actual good ones and sticking to them.
Sure.
And like those 2 songs I played, Ghost and Honey, are examples. They're good ideas that I kept coming back to, and eventually put in front of people that they went, yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
do that.
I love it. And of course, you mentioned the Grotto, but what is your favorite venue to perform at in Ann Arbor? And if so, why?
I think it is the Grotto.
Okay.
And the reasons are I love their patio space.
Okay.
It's like got a really nice indoor-outdoor feel.
Sure.
So there's plenty of room for people, and I've had the privilege and pleasure of having so many friends be able to come out and support me there.
Sure.
They have great drinks. They create a great atmosphere.
Right.
And it's a really fun spot to not only see people driving the wrong way down the street, but people like walk by the fence and such where I'm set up, and they'll go, yeah. Yeah, like I see people like stop every once in a while and kind of see what I'm doing and be like, yeah, like give me like a thumbs up and everything.
Sure.
So it's a good place to invite people in because it's so exposed on that corner right there.
Right, man. Yeah, it's accessible for sure.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and you just have such a great presence. I mean, such a good, you know, energy on stage. You do a great job, man. So for all the young musical artists out there that are watching right now, that are young kids, right, that have sort of a passion for music, that want to be able to perform and want to be able to do good things with it, what advice do you have for them?
For them, I would say, don't focus on what you're not. Don't focus on the musical artists that you're not the other people making music and doing other art around you. I would say start acting on who you are. And that takes a little bit of reflection, but it's as simple as, what do you want to make? What do you like to make? And start with that.
I love that.
Yeah.
And lastly, how can those watching, how can they see you perform, Kai, or how can they keep up on what you're doing?
Yeah. I have 6 things. I remember that it's 6 so I don't forget. Something very exciting recently happened. I launched a Patreon page so people can support me there and kind of be a part of everything that I'm creating and such, as far as like helping me choose the videos, what covers people want to hear and such, help like shaping me as I move forward.
Yeah.
So other than that, Instagram is the best place to figure out what all my shows are coming up.
Awesome.
And then there's also Facebook, YouTube, and Venmo. It's where I hang out the most.
Man.
But everywhere it's Kai5 Loops. That's at KI5 LOOPS.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
I love it. Kai5, thank you so much for joining us in
Thank
Ann Arbor
you.
tonight.
Thank
All
you.
right. Folks, that is our show. I want to thank you so much. Folks, I want to thank our wonderful crew for putting up with me tonight. I want to thank Chili Chalice, Mark Sweetman, Tracy McDonald, and the amazing Cottage Inn, and all of our wonderful talent tonight. Thank you so much. That is our show. Have a good night.